You are listening to the Built to Grow podcast, delivering the knowledge in all things fitness business. We help gym owners win. Here are your hosts, Tim Lyons and Randy Engston.
All right, welcome back to the Built to Grow podcast. I am your host, Tim Lyons, and I'm here with none other than the gladiator of grit, Randy Engston. How are you, buddy?
Great movie, by the way.
Yeah, Gladiator.
That's one of those that, like, if it's on, you just have to finish it.
Yep.
Braveheart right there.
All of them. What's your favorite movie of all time?
Ooh, it might be The Patriot. I'm a big American history buff.
Yeah?
Yeah, side note, like, geek.
Okay. The Patriot.
Yeah, I just love it.
My favorite movie, if anybody wants to know, is The Program.
Mm-hmm.
The old college football movie from like the late mid-90s.
Spot at the table.
Yeah, Latimer. I actually saw that movie in the movie theater before they cut that scene out. Remember that scene where all the kids were in the middle of the road and lined up on the line and all the traffic going back and forth? Because there's some kids that went out and did that and killed themselves.
Does it surprise you anymore? Are we shocked by that?
Tide Pods?
Tide Pod challenges and stuff? Come on, man.
No. Oh, man.
They need to listen to more stuff like this and less of things like Hollywood.
Yeah. Hey-o. All right, so today, guys, big episode. I want to talk to everybody about sales in your fitness business, because without sales, you can't generate revenue.
It's the lifeblood of any business.
Yep. Without revenue, there's no cash flow. Without cash flow, you can't pay bills. The doors are closed. So kind of an important thing, and not something that just comes naturally to trainers, gym owners, just out of the gate. And I've got some theories on this.
Yeah?
Yep. So
why? What about them? It sounds like that's like a loaded question.
No, I'm not going to talk about it.
I feel like we're going to get it. No, we're just going to skip it.
My theory, and this is completely my theory, I don't think I've heard anybody else say this. It's just the mindset of a trainer, technician, dude, girl, and why they get into the business of fitness. Originally, it's usually the number one thing, especially when I'm interviewing new coaches to come on board with us. Why are you in this industry? I want to help change lives. I want to help people. And they use that word help and change and help, like do good and all these things. And then on the flip side of that, they think sales is bad. And if I'm taking money from this person across the table from me, I'm hurting that person. And it doesn't jive with their subconscious, and they can't get over the fact they have to make the sale in order to help somebody. So naturally, they've got this kind of conflict going on in their brain, subconscious. And on top of that, layer on another thing on top of that makes it even harder is 9 times out of 10, a personal trainer can't even afford their own services. If they were to be the client to purchase the services, thousands and thousands of dollars, they can't even afford it, because trainers, let's be honest, they don't make a whole lot of money. It's just part of what the industry is about. I'd like to change that. It'd be great if all the trainers were making six figures and more and loving life. But, there's not a whole lot of money in training right now. If we can change that, it'd be a nice movement. But they have this unhealthy relationship with money, and it's hard for them to sell. Absolutely.
And belief systems. I mean, like you said, right? It's the subconscious. It's all these things that are working without them actually thinking about it. A lot of trainers, a lot in the fitness industry develop into different roles from being that on the floor trainer themselves. A lot of the business owners we work with are still to this day personal trainers as well.
Yep.
So their first and foremost, like you said, their first belief is they're there for their purpose, their passion, and that's to help others. Hands down, the best book I've ever read to address this would be The Science of Getting Rich, first and foremost.
Okay.
The stigma of money being a bad thing.
Yeah.
And helping break that belief system. At the end of the day, guys, money is a tool. That's it. It's an exchange of value. Somebody's giving you something in exchange for something that they need. In this situation, it's training. It's results. They're paying an expert to deliver the results. Now, to take that one step further, the accountability that comes with that. If it was free, the information's everywhere.
Yes.
Our clients don't need to know how to go do a deadlift every day. Like, that information's there. What they need is a trainer that's going to hold them accountable to show up for the workouts.
That's really what they're buying.
A lot of the majority of that is accountability.
Yep. And being able to trust that coach is going to not hurt them and have a program that's going to get them results over time, push them in the weight room harder than they can push themselves. These are all great things that what people are buying, but they're really buying a result. They're in bad condition, pain, they're out of shape, they're so self-conscious or about themselves, or they want to change that. And what's that worth? Like, even when you get into the health risks and all these things like diabetes and pre-diabetic and high blood pressure, heart disease, all these things are related to being overweight. And you get somebody that comes in and they just saw one of their parents suffer and die at an early age, and they don't want that because they've got kids and they know how that feels. Well, that person's pain is really high, that they want that. I mean, that's worth a lot to them, right? To change this lifestyle, and that's worth money.
Absolutely.
And they will pay good money to get that problem away from them, right? To solve that problem. So, really, sales, more or less, you said money's an exchange of value. If they value what you're offering, they'll give you money for it.
It's a natural progression, right? Like we do it all of the time in other ways that aren't monetary. Every time we do a trade or a barter, we help somebody else. I mean, there's always some sort of exchange.
Yeah.
Whether it's you feeling good, there is a natural. It's a scientific proof that when you do something for somebody else, you actually have a better emotional response than when you receive a gift.
Interesting. So
it actually physically impacts our body in a better state.
Okay.
By giving than it is to receive.
Well, then let's talk about that, because as the trainer, if you're giving somebody something for free, it makes them feel good. That's going to hurt them on sales.
I understand that, but at the other end of the spectrum too, people don't value things that are free the same that they do when there is a monetary, number around it.
Yep.
When it comes to trials.
Trials. Yep.
Quality of lead. If we're going to get into sales aspect, right?
Yep.
Why don't you break down kind of the difference of the individual that walks in your facility from a free trial versus a paid trial?
Okay. Well, I can give you some strict numbers. So what you're talking about here is, you're running an offer, maybe Facebook, maybe somewhere else, an email, for something for free. Like, come in for a free 7-day pass, right? Whatever. Somebody downloads that or comes in. There's zero skin in the game. If they don't show up, there's no loss.
No loss.
Right?
Yep.
And then versus somebody that makes a purchase, even if it's $100 or $80 to come in for 14 days or 7 days or 30 days or whatever it is, that person, the buyer, the client, is much more likely to show up, pay attention, because yes, there's exchange of value. They paid for it.
There's an investment on the line. They've put their own value.
And we can talk about the higher amount they pay, the more
I say
invested.
Constantly. I say some of the easiest clients to work with, and those that stick around the longest, are typically those that are willing to spend the most.
Yep.
And they're going to show up, because if they don't, they know that loss of that session or that time stings.
Yep. I'll give you some data from this gym. In fact, we did some analytics on their clientele, ages, how much they're paying, how long they're staying, and it was really pretty much cut right down the middle. The clients that paid $199 and less would stay on average about 9.8 months, okay, which is under a year. That's not good. The clients that paid $399 or more were staying with us for 36 months. What's the difference? Well, there's a couple things that you can talk about. Number one is the service they're buying is much more hands-on at the higher levels, right?
Sure.
And that's what our value ladder is. We can talk about that in another episode. But they're paying more. It's worth more to them. Okay. Now on average, the clients that were paying more were older. Now there's something to be said about the older your clients are, the less likely they are to maybe move for a job, or there's pretty much settled in where they're going to live. A little rooted in the area. The clients that were paying $199 or less were 31 years old and under. Again, a little bit more nomadic. They get a job offer, they move to Washington or Texas or something like that, or they get married.
Or renting a home.
Right. Yeah, and they move.
Even within the area.
Yeah, sure. So all those things at the younger ages, they move around, so they didn't stay as long. So the clients that were paying $399 or more, they've been here, 3+ years, right? And they're continuing to stay, and they pay longer. So we made a decision about 1.5 years ago to just kind of shift our focus and not push the younger, lower price point team training, boot camp style training in our marketing. We went more of the semi-private training, higher price points, a little bit older demographic, because those are the ones that are staying and paying, right? And they value it.
Absolutely.
They value it. So.
And the reason Tim's mentioning these numbers and why it's important to your business, we continually bring up your average lifetime value of a client. Mm-hmm. That number is one of the most crucial numbers, I think, in any KPI, any key performance indicator you can pull from a business. Mm-hmm. How long are the people staying with you, and what are they spending each month? I know we did an episode about raising, how to become more profitable, and we looked at different areas. This number is the number we use to set our standards and shift focus, like you said. Can we absolutely make the same amount of money with that given that 30 and under demographic? Sure. Mm-hmm. How much harder do you have to work? How many more clients do you need to go do that same dollar amount over, would you say, 18 months?
What, 36
months?
36 months.
That's a long time for somebody to stay in a business.
Yeah.
As service-based business.
Yeah. So what is that math? 399 times 36. Well, 399 times 400 times 30 is 12,000, plus another 6 times to be 24. So 14,000, whatever.
Per client.
Yeah, per client.
Per client, guys.
Yeah.
This is what it goes back to. Per client.
Yeah. Would I spend $5,000 to acquire that client? Sure. It might take me a while to make it back, but if I know they're staying 36 months, great. So going back to sales for a second here, my sales approach here, in the way that I used to do all the sales here. You remember? Oh yeah. Back when we first opened, I would do every sale, and I hated sales back then. It was tough trying to sell myself, sell my business, and all these things. When you're early on, that's just kind of the things that go through your head. As a trainer dude, in the gym is easy for me. So it was like, well, this isn't really that valuable. I mean, anybody can come in here and do whatever, get in great shape, because I was in great shape, and it was easy because I come from athletics, but I didn't put myself in their shoes.
Sure.
And the way I got over that was basically putting myself in their shoes, understanding, maybe if that was my mom on the other side or my dad trying to get in shape, how hard it is and I see them every day. Like, it's hard for them to do that. Mm-hmm. It's worth money. And there's a lot of sales techniques out there. I mean, there's that, everybody thinks of a sales guy as that cheesy car salesman guy coming out with a Hawaiian shirt. Like, hey, let's
put the coffee down.
Yeah. Sales doesn't have to be cheesy. In fact, the more genuine that I was and I am, the better our sales became. And it's because I just cared about that person. I had a conversation with that person, and I saw their problems, and without a shadow of a doubt, I knew that our programs are going to solve their problem. It gave me a lot of confidence, and it didn't come sales anymore.
Sure.
And then I also took it from like, look, guys, I'm not here to screw anybody over. We're a small business. One bad review is going to hurt us. I'm not here to screw anybody over. I built that huge trust up with that client, and they signed every single time, especially when I was the owner.
Sure.
I'm the owner. Look, I'm not here to screw anybody over, because they're always concerned about, I don't want to sign this contract and all these things. And like, I just got that off the table. Like, hey, we're a small business. We're not here to screw anybody over. Look at our reviews.
I think there's a stigma around sales and going into a sales consultation where people think that the information you have, you need to only provide what that client needs to hear, and the rest is kind of a secret, right? Like you're almost tricking them into signing on the line.
Oh yeah.
And do whatever it takes to get that signature. When you're authentic, when you're transparent, when you literally throw everything out there, we have nothing to hide.
Yeah.
We're looking to grow our family here. You're going to be spending every single day here. Mm-hmm. An hour of your day, or a couple days a week at least.
Yeah.
That you're building a relationship. You're establishing a relationship. That can never happen. It should never happen from a place of leverage.
Yeah.
So you can't trick somebody into joining your business and then have to go face them every single day and wonder, why is this person not happy?
Yeah.
Well, because you're not fulfilling a service that they actually needed.
Let's talk about that, because this is a big, sales technique is something called NLP, which is, correct me if I'm wrong, neuro-linguistic
Programming.
Yeah, whatever.
Neuro-linguistic, yeah.
Neuro-linguistic programming, whatever. What it is it's positioning and doing things during the consultation to get somebody to take action, maybe against their will, but subconsciously they're taking action. You're almost coercing somebody into making a purchase. So
it's essentially speaking without language.
Right.
There's an actual percentage, and it's like down to 7%. I speak about it in our coaching programs, actually.
Yeah.
Down to I think it was 7% was the hard number of actual verbal communication. That's all we use when it comes to decision making.
Okay, so it's body language. So I'll give you a great example. I know that in a sales presentation, a lot of times you have a piece of paper out in front of you with the pricing on it. And NLP uses things like circling the number and nodding your head and tapping the pen on the piece of paper to get somebody to make a decision, and
you're getting them to agree with you through ways that they don't.
That stuff works. I've never subscribed to it, and I'll probably get some backlash. Like, oh, NLP is the best thing in all time. You make a bunch of money, but I don't feel like that's the best way to start off a relationship with somebody.
I think it can be if it's in alignment with your reason for doing so, and that's the. You could have the greatest intentions in the world and execute horrible, and things fall in your favor. You can not have the greatest of intentions, go be an excellent executor,
yeah,
and then you can end up, hooking somebody into your business as well. There has to be sales. Is going to have some stigma for most people.
Yep.
But understanding that you're there to genuinely provide a service that is helping the individual. Guys, we're not selling crack on a corner.
Yeah.
We're selling health and wellness.
Yes.
This is a good thing. So getting past that belief, that internal belief, and then being able to, if that is a tactic or a strategy that makes that salesperson more comfortable to execute their real passion and belief. I've said it before, and I'll continue to say it. When you believe in the product that you're selling, it is your moral obligation to do so. And it comes back, like, I look at it the same way that I look at a good movie or a book.
Yeah, you're recommending it.
Exactly. I mean, all a sales conversation is a recommendation. Hey, this is something that you've shown me you need. I want to provide you with a solution to it.
Yep.
Now, in order to access that, we need to exchange value.
Yep. Money for the service. When you're so confident in your product, gosh, guys, it makes it so easy to sell. Like, if you are so confident to that other person, like, hey, I've got all these issues. I'm like, I've seen this before.
We've seen it before. Yep.
Here's X, Y, and Z people that have that same condition, or hip replacement, knee replacement, or whatever. They just did this in the last year. Like, this, I know this is going to help you. And then they see that too. It's just like the confidence goes up.
Absolutely.
You build the trust.
And you're literally providing the solution to their problem.
Yep. That's all it is.
That's all sales is. And people they've built this up. They artificially create this resistance towards it because they truly feel like they're doing a disservice to their client.
Yeah, taking money. Yep. So something else, we talked about the exchange. The higher the value, the higher the price point, the more people value it. You guys, stop selling your services for so cheap. Like, nobody should be like $80 a month or $90 a month or under. Like, even if it's group style training, you're still providing a great value. You should be 100, 150, 100, $200, $199, 179. People will pay it. People will pay. A lot of times people lower their prices because they don't feel confident in your product.
That's I have this conversation with our coaching clients consistently.
Yep.
First of all, every one of our coaching clients, for sure, are products of their product.
Yep.
And your belief system you can't get any higher. If you walk around and you look the part, nobody really trusts a skinny chef.
Right.
If you don't fit the role as a personal trainer, just get your shit together. Yeah. Like, at some point, you have to fit the role of the position that you're in.
Yep.
And so when you walk around and you operate and you are a perfect reflection of your business, your clients are going to feel the same way. Like, you're literally just offering something that you believe so much in.
Yeah. Well, let's talk about that for a second. Everybody's seen the Instagram phenomenon of the fitness. Everybody's XYZ -fit.
Fit.
Yeah, everybody's everybody's a fitness trainer on Instagram, and most of those times it's because their bodies, they look amazing, right? They got abs or the big booty for the women or whatever. And we know that they're probably not the best coaches. In fact, most likely they're not a great coach at all. Or if they even coach at all, or they're selling somebody else's
programming, sure.
Why are they making so much money?
Because they look the part.
Yeah. So they're the best marketers.
Absolutely.
And marketing for them is what they look like. And I think it should be the same for you. Now, I've had this happen where, I'm 260 or whatever. I'm sitting on the other side of a
humble brag.
Yeah. Sitting on the other side of the table from a, housewife, and they're like, "Oh, I don't want to look like you." Like,
well, first of all,
yeah,
good luck.
It's not going to just happen overnight. Like, I'll see that coming a mile away. It'll never happen. So, it's okay to be, you don't have to be gigantic or shredded, or I think you just need to fit the part, live healthy lifestyle. And a lot of times being too in shape in person, a lot of times might scare.
I can be the first to vouch that I've heard your people's opinions of you coming out of the off, you know?
Oh, so.
He's a big guy.
Yeah, and, whatever. I'm not going to change for that, but I'm just saying, you got to look the part. You got to be a great marketer. A lot of times the best trainers are not the best marketers, and people that are not as good as a coach as somebody are making a lot more money just because they're marketing and selling better.
And we see it. The Instagram is a perfect example of where you see this the most. I would say that the majority, constantly people are being thrown under the bus or being exposed for fraudulent, meal plans or fraudulent workout programs. They're using other people's materials, things like that. So from a consumer side, obviously there's some due diligence that has to go into anything. But being in the fitness industry ourselves, we need to hold ourselves to a standard. And our buddy Frank, when he was in town for you guys, STS, we were getting some quotes from some of our current clients at the time. And Frank, to this day, I'll always remember it, because if for those of you who know Frank, you'll understand completely. Frank is a character.
Yep.
He is
He's like an animated cartoon.
He is. He's like a real life cartoon.
Yeah.
Like it's Roger Rabbit, but he's his own character.
Yeah, very cool.
But he's so good at branding. He's so good at marketing, and he backs it up with his workouts and his facility.
Yep.
But he made a great point. We were talking about the level of education and what it takes to be a great trainer, and he said you could be the greatest trainer available. You could have knowledge that nobody else in the world can touch, but if you can't get somebody into your facility and have them sign up to be training with you, you're no more valuable than the guy who started yesterday.
Yeah, that's a great point.
And it comes down back to the exchange of money. You need to be comfortable providing a service. The more money as a business, the more lives the more profit you can make, the more potential you have for changing lives. And this is something that I continually work with our coaching clients about. If your stigma is around taking somebody's money, then you're limiting the amount of people you can serve.
Yeah.
Money is
change your mindset on that.
Money is a tool. Utilize that tool to go serve more people. And you'll never continue. You'll never stop growing.
Yeah. Yep. And, we've got we've got a sales coaching program that is a 4-week program that we actually offer for gym owners that need help with sales. They're not tracking their numbers, what the scripts look like, what to say, how to position. It ties into our marketing. One of the biggest things that we found was, hey, we're doing these great marketing for people, but they couldn't convert anybody. And it's like, well, let's help solve that problem. So here we are, an exchange of value. Like, we solving somebody's problem. We created the sales program because we do pretty dang well in sales at all levels. I mean, we've sold over $6-7 million in personal training at this facility alone. Plus our profit stuff. Yeah. Like we've done plenty of sales. We created a 4-week sales coaching program. With one of our sales coaches, which is Kelly. She's not in here right now, but if that's something you guys are interested in and you want to have a system around sales so you know exactly what you should be converting, how to track your numbers, all that fun stuff that goes into sales, and how to sell ethically,
ethically,
yep.
The same data.
Yep. Set up a call. I mean, that's the first point. First starting point is just set up a call. pfmarketingsolutions.com/call. You could also pick up the book, timlyonsbook.com. But guys, learn how to sell. It's the only way you're going to stay in business over the long term, and learn. Obviously, we're going to talk a lot more about sales and marketing in this podcast and the future podcasts. It's that important. So sales, guys. Until next time, we will see you on the next show. Bye.